Hello, this is Mayor Bollwage, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Our City. Just a reminder, the City of Elizabeth and the County of Union still have plenty of vaccines. We're hopeful that in September we will get the Omicron-specific vaccine to give out to our residents for booster shots or their first shot. Residents can visit ucnjvaccine.org and the City of Elizabeth website, elizabethnj.org, or any of our social media accounts for more information. We should still continue to try to get vaccinated and get boosted. And keep in mind that if you're in crowded situations, follow the social distance rules or wear a face mask. Keep your covering handy when you go into buildings that you may not be comfortable with and there may be a lot of people around. Personal responsibility is important as this virus has not gone away. If you need any more information, you can call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124 or visit any of our social media accounts and we'll get back to you as quick as possible. Now, I am very pleased to be joined by a special guest this evening, Dr. Margaret McMenamin, who is the president of Union County College and has had some good things to report about the college. And as many of you know, we have that community college right here in the City of Elizabeth in 2 locations. Dr. McMenamin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mayor Bollwage. Always a delight to see you.
Well, you're one of my favorite college presidents. No, now you're my favorite college president.
I'm hoping I want that designation given that you are my favorite mayor.
The background that our viewers are looking at, which is the Union County College building in the City of Elizabeth. And you have 2 locations. Tell us about first the 2 locations in Elizabeth.
Okay, well, the first location is the Lesner building, and you can see it in this picture because this is an old photograph, and you'll notice it predates 2009 because the Bollwage parking garage is not separating our 2 buildings. So in the background, you can barely see Union County on the roof over there. That's our Lesner building. And unfortunately, that's the only building we have open right now in Elizabeth because the beautiful Kellogg building, the one that is featured in my background, was stricken during Hurricane Ida. And we had about 12 feet of water in the basement. We're still recovering from that Ida storm, but we are hopeful September things will be looking much better for Union College in Elizabeth.
Tell us about that, Doctor, because as you know, we had a lot of damage just a little north of you in the river with the Oakwood Plaza housing complex, and you're right on the river as well. 12 feet of water in the basement. What did it do to the foundation and the flooring in that basement?
Well, it ripped, first of all, it destroyed all of the electrical equipment down there, and that is the switchgear for all of the technology in the building, the elevators. We have the kitchen in the basement, that all the kitchen equipment was destroyed, but the water, the force of that water actually lifted the floor, the foundation, the floor of the basement, and it separated it, lifted it up about 12 inches and separated it in several spots about 6 inches wide. So there was significant damage in the interior. And unfortunately, our generator was in the basement. So you can imagine the generator wasn't much help when it got overwhelmed with water. So we just had dramatic damage to all of that technological equipment and the foundation and structure of the building. And that's what's led to these. I mean, who would have thought Hurricane Ida, a hurricane hitting the Gulf Coast, would have such a devastating impact on the city of Elizabeth and the county of Union, but I know firsthand from the Trinitas Regional Medical Center to Union College in Elizabeth to the tragedy at Oakwood Plaza. Ida was devastating to all of us.
How long are you the president now? You've been there quite a few years. Tell us about a little bit about your history.
Well, I arrived 12 years ago, July 1st, 2010. And I was the first time I was ever in the city of Elizabeth. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised then. And every time I go into the city of Elizabeth, I'm proud to say that's our county seat. Very impressive. I've loved my 12 years here at Union. I'm in my 13th year. I hope it's lucky 13. But if we can avoid those hurricanes, I'll be much better off, in pandemics. But we've had a good run for 12 years. We've really assembled a great team here. And the support we get from the county of Union is unparalleled. So our commissioners put their money where their mouth is, and they know that education is the way to help our community really just emerge from working class and enter the middle class. We've got a great community of immigrants and hardworking people, and education's really a transformational opportunity for them.
Are you a Jersey girl?
I was born in New York, but I grew up in New Jersey, but far away from here. When I was 4 years old, my father moved the family from New York to the sticks of Jackson, New Jersey. So if you've ever been to Great Adventure, that was a kind of like where I grew up, in the Pine Barrens.
So you talked about Union College, and this year you have spent an amount of time educating not only elected officials but the public as well on a name change. You now are called Union College, no longer Union County College, but you were once called Union College long before you. Tell us a little bit about that history.
Sure. Well, the college was formed in 1933 as really a private junior college to put unemployed school teachers to work. So we were Union Junior College at that time in 1933. We changed our name to become Union County Junior College, and those were the days we were referred to as UC Juicy. You can imagine those teeny boppers in the 1950s talking about UC Juicy. But around 1960, we changed our name to Union College. And that name stuck until 1982, when we merged with the County Technical Institute to become a public college that was Union County College. But we all know there's a stigma associated with junior colleges or county colleges, because there are some elitists who believe that maybe if it's a two-year college, it's not as good. So addressing the stigma and helping to set our students on a path for not only academic and career success, but frankly for economic success as well, we knew that if we removed the name county from our name, we could help eliminate
You'd have to deal with Cranford and Plainfield in that situation.
Oh yeah, they'd all be lining up to get me. So, but we know as Elizabeth goes, so goes the rest of Union County. So
You better be careful. You're going to get in trouble if other people see this.
I tell them that though. They cannot, people think they can leave Elizabeth and go to someplace, go to Mountainside and not worry about Elizabeth. Elizabeth matters to everybody in our county.
So Union College is also the school that my city attorney went to in New York State, which is excellent in the world of hockey. They won the NCAA hockey finals.
Won the men's Division I championship. I think it was in 2017. I got a lot of congratulatory messages that were directed to the wrong president for that one. Yes, Union College in New York State. One of 3 or 4 union colleges in the country. It's the oldest of the group. And we are not to be confused with that Union College. We are Union College of New Jersey.
So up in the right-hand corner, you have the Aspen Prize Top 150. You also have news to tell us about the Aspen Prize. First of all, what is it, and how did Union College win or be awarded this effort?
Well, the Aspen Institute is a think tank for college excellence. And every 2 years, they name the top community college in the country. And they use algorithms to determine that. And they're all based on student success measures. So it's not about reputation or about money or how many books I have in the library or how many PhDs I have on the faculty. The Aspen Prize is based on how are you actually doing helping students, and students who are at high risk be successful not only in college, but in their 4-year college after they leave us and in their jobs after they graduate from college. About 2 years ago, we were notified by the Aspen Institute, that was in 2020, we were told that we were among the top 150 in the country. And we were delighted because, as you know, Mayor Bollwage, when I got to Union College in 2010, our student success metrics were way below par. We were not achieving our goals in terms of helping students graduate. So I got my marching orders from the Board of Trustees at Union and also from some of our elected officials, some of your friends, saying we've got to improve our graduation rate. So over the last 10, 12 years, we've worked hard at ensuring that not just the honors students, but that every one of our students, if they're willing to do the work, has an opportunity to earn their degree. And that wasn't always the case at Union. This year, we were notified by them that not only were we in the top 150, but we were notified that we were in the top 25 of colleges, community colleges from across the country. Top 25 out of about 1,200 from Maine to Florida, from Washington to Texas and California, Union College of New Jersey, Union College of Union County, New Jersey, named in the top 25 across the country. And it's not because of measures that don't really count. It's about helping students graduate, which is why we're all here.
So tell us a little bit about the free community college program and who qualifies and how do you get in?
Okay, Free Community College is a wonderful program backed by Governor Murphy. He's the one who championed this, and a lot of people didn't think he'd be able to pull it off. But students who come from families with a adjusted gross income of $80,000 or less have an opportunity to have their college for free. They'll get scholarships to cover whatever other scholarships don't cover. So if you get a state scholarship, you still get that. You get your federal scholarship. You may get a Lions Club scholarship. But then if it says you still have $500 you have to pay, the Community College Opportunity Grant, the free community college program, pays the last dollar amount. So students from families with an income below that number have an opportunity to go for free. Now, there are some restrictions. You can't go forever. Like somebody might say, well, I want to keep going. No, they'll only pay for so much. There's no professional students in this, but generally speaking, students who want to earn a degree, they can do it without fear of running out of money.
And the college is now creating or establishing destination venues. What does that mean for the college? Are we a destination campus?
Absolutely. What we're looking for is, why would a student get out of bed and come to this college? Why would a student choose Union over one of the other colleges nearby? We're trying to identify places where students want to go. Let's face it, the pandemic taught us we could do a lot of this remotely. Last time you and I did a TV show, we were face to face. Now we're doing it via Zoom. What we're trying to create is places where students can go, interact with other students, socialize a little bit, maybe learn a little bit in the process, but get out of the isolation that was associated with the pandemic, with COVID, and with the lockdowns. We know human beings crave contact with other human beings. We're trying to create those destinations that will draw like-minded students together and get them out of that isolation.
And before we go, Doctor, how about the levels of English as a second language? You have different levels, which is tantamount to success for a city like Elizabeth.
Absolutely. We have the premier ESL program in the state of New Jersey and in the region. So a student could get off a plane right now and start learning English tomorrow, regardless of where they are. So we have 2 levels in a non-credit division, 3 levels on the credit side. And then once you get into college level courses, we have English classes that are geared for students who have English as a second language so that they provide extra help in the grammatical challenges that students have. This is the ESL headquarters for New Jersey. Union College in Elizabeth, New Jersey is the zone for immigrant students to come and learn how to speak English. There's nothing like it anywhere.
So, Dr. McMenamin, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us on the program. I look forward to you reopening in September. I hope to be there and greet some of the students. But most of all, I thank you for your leadership of a community college that has benefited thousands of students in our city.
Honored to work with you, Mayor Bollwage, and watch the great things that you do in Elizabeth. God bless you and the city of Elizabeth. Thank you so much.
I want to thank Dr. Margaret McMenamin for her service as well as her time this evening, and we'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.